Ingun, the Viking who digs dogs, and today I'm going to show you an incredibly simple do-it-yourself dog treat recipe that's all natural, healthy, and delicious. That means a treat you can give your dog totally guilt-free. If you visit a pet supply store or even the supermarket, there can be seemingly endless dog treat options to choose from. However, if you care about your dog's health and are therefore looking for more natural options, they can be hard to find. Dog treats may contain anything from synthetic preservatives and harmful, completely unnecessary coloring agents to ingredients that disrupts dogs' metabolism and promote weight gain. Therefore, if you want something truly natural and healthy, try making it yourself. The recipe I'm about to show you today is probably the simplest and most natural recipe ever because it only contains one ingredient. So what are we making today? Dry or dehydrated liver treats. Now, even though we'll be using liver today, the recipe I'm about to show you is very flexible. You can basically do this with any kind of meat or organ meat that does not contain bones, though using fairly lean cuts will make it easier to get a good result. And even though you might not think it sounds very appetizing with dry liver as a snack, dogs love them. So give it a go with your dog, as this could be your go-to healthy, delicious, and guilt-free treats. Now, Nina here is wondering where the treats are, so let's get started. What you'll need for this recipe is the following: raw liver, cutting board and knife, cooking sheet lined with aluminum foil, an oven, and a cooling rack. Plus, having a scissor to cut the treats afterwards is also useful. Now let's go through the recipe step by step. Step number 1, head out and buy some raw liver. You can, for instance, buy cow liver or chicken liver. Those are usually the easiest to find and usually quite cheap as well. What I'll be using is cow liver. Make sure the liver is raw, unprocessed with no additives. Also, it's a good idea to start out with a smaller pack if you can find that, maybe around 200 grams. The pack I've bought is 400 grams, which is more than I can fit on one cooking sheet, which is what I'll be making today. However, if you're currently feeding your dog an all-natural, nutritious diet, I'm sure you can find use for some leftover liver. If you haven't already transitioned your dog to a highly nutritious, all-natural diet, which could save your dog from disease and even extend your dog's life, then check out my free presentation at digdogdiet.com, which also includes information on how to get your dog to lose weight in an all-natural way without counting calories or exercising. Check out the link below this video. Step 2. Start preheating your oven. Now, you have a choice to make. You can either set your oven to the lowest setting possible, which may be around 80 degrees Celsius or 176 Fahrenheit. At this temperature, you'll likely have to leave the liver pieces inside the oven for around 4 hours or more, depending on the thickness of the liver pieces, your oven, and how dry you want the liver pieces to be. Another option is to set the oven to about 100 degrees Celsius or 212 Fahrenheit. If your oven doesn't go below this temperature, it's an easy choice, right? Also, this means the liver pieces don't have to stay in the oven for as long, so maybe about 2 to 2.5 hours instead. And if you'd like, you could even increase the temperature more. Now, the lower the temperature, the less you'll actually cook the liver and rather just dry it, and the more the nutrients will be kept intact. So if you want this treat to be as nutritious as possible, then the lower the temperature, the better. However, if you're already feeding a highly nutritious, all-natural diet to your dog, I think it's fine to compromise a bit by increasing the temperature so that you don't need to leave the liver inside the oven for too long. After all, the treats will still be 1,000 times better than any unnatural store-bought treats. So I'm going to set the oven to 100 degrees Celsius and then get going with step 3. Just a quick note, if you by any chance have a dehydrator machine, then by all means use it. In this case, just follow the instructions for your machine and you'll be good to go. Step 3. Cut the liver into thin slices that are fairly similar in thickness and size. The thicker the slices, the longer it has to stay in the oven, so the thinner, the better. Step 4. Place the liver pieces onto the cooking sheet lined with aluminum foil. Make sure there are no folds and that no pieces overlap. Step 5. Place the cooking sheet with the liver pieces in the preheated oven. Since I set the oven to 100 degrees Celsius, I'll be checking in on my liver pieces after about 1 hour, just to see how they're doing. After about an hour and 40 minutes, or when the liver pieces look more or less like this, take them out of the oven and flip them over. If they're not dry on both sides, then put them back in the oven with the less dry side facing up for about another 30 to 40 minutes. When the liver pieces are nice and dry on both sides, take them out of the oven and place them on the cooling rack until they are nice and cool. And that's it! Now you can let your dog enjoy those delicious treats. Either give it to your dog whole or cut them into smaller pieces using, for instance, a scissor. Store these treats in an airtight container in the refrigerator for up to a week, or even in the freezer for longer. Since this snack is not completely cooked, especially if you use low temperatures, treat them as if they were raw meat, meaning wash your hands after feeding them to your dog. Now go give this recipe a go so that your dog can enjoy these delicious, healthy, guilt-free treats. And if you'd like to learn more about the highly nutritious, all-natural diet I mentioned earlier, then head over to digdogdiet.com and check out my free presentation. If you enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up, write a comment if you'd like, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time, and remember to dig that dog!